Hello, hello, my friends. Hello, hello. Welcome. 31 Days of Spirit, day number 9. All right. My name is Jodie Harvala, psychic medium, spiritual teacher. I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. Been doing this a long time. Say hello in the comments. We'll get started in just a little bit. I want to give you just a minute or two to hop on. We'll see who's around on this very windy Saturday morning. Winter finally hit. We had 60 degrees on Thursday, and today it's chilly and windy. I had stuff blown all over my yard today, and just a little bit of snow. We have just enough to make it white, which I like snow for Christmas, so I am okay with that. All right. Hello, hello. I see Miss Aubrey and Brooke and Pam and Cindy. Hello, hello, everyone. There we go. A few more jumping on. Good. Weekends, you just never know. Sometimes you get a ton of people and sometimes everyone's out busy. Hello, hello, everyone. I figured it's crappy and cold, so we might have lots of people on today, which is good. I like it. I like when lots of people jump on. Cindy, Nikki, Carla, Jen, Wendy. Hello, hello. All right. So we've been talking about all sorts of things. If you are signed up for the emails, you should have gotten one on Friday. We did have 2 people that I don't know what the hell. We're talking to my email company because we had 2 people that had a blank email. So if you could email me and tell me that would be super helpful. It showed up just fine on our test, showed up fine for us. It showed up like great for people. So make sure you check your spam folders as well if you don't see it. But we just had these 2 random people. They're like, yeah, I keep getting blank emails. So we are working with my active campaign people. All right. Yep. And make sure you do look at the Friday emails because that's where we talk about the prize winners. And you guys will have to send me your addresses. Oh, Zaina, you got one that was empty. You got 2 on the same day? Technology is great when it works, my friends, but when it doesn't, it's really irritating. Can you forward them to me, Zaina? Oh, good, Donna. Okay. Yep, make sure you sign up. That's where you get into the prizes. Here, I'll put the link up for you girls and guys. Hold on. You can still sign up. I don't care when you sign up. There you go. There's a link. I don't know if the links show up when I'm live. You might have to wait till I get offline. But it'll show up on comments once I'm done if it's not showing up now. Okay. All right. Perfect. Yep. That is the fun of computers and technology. I really love technology when it works. I love it. But when it doesn't, I am so unhelpful. So I really lean on Andrea and Angela to help me. And we are in kind of the shadow of Mercury in retrograde. Do not freak out about it. Don't bad talk it. We're going to talk about that on, I think it's Wednesday is when Mercury goes into retrograde. So I'm going to do a whole thing on that and why it's a great thing. A lot of people freak out and they teach how awful it is and all this kind of stuff. And I've actually found the opposite. Yes, it can mess with your technology a bit, but it also forces you to slow down and get in into the details. It is different than my regular emails, Linda. Yep. It's a whole separate thing. But I put the link up, so it's easy just to sign up, okay? Okay, so yes, and hello to all of those people that watch the replay. If you have questions or concerns, make sure you reach out to us. Okay, so today we're going to talk about affirmations. I would love to know, those of you that are online, how many of you use affirmations? Okay, Peggy. I'm going to screenshot that for my IT gal. All right. How many of you actually use affirmations? How many of you have no idea what affirmations are or why you would use them? Give me a little feedback. Let me know where y'all are. Zena said she does. Brooke tries every day. Sometimes I use them. Aubrey says I try it every day and with my kids almost every day. I'm learning how, just starting. Occasionally, when I do, they work, right? Jess says not often. Carly uses them. Peggy says I have no idea. That's okay. We'll teach you. Post on your mirror. Yep. It's kind of one of those things, you either do it or you don't. Half-assing affirmations isn't going to give you a lot of momentum. It might give you some moments that help you, but when you really commit to them, that's when they really create the energy of momentum of where you're trying to go. I found affirmations and intentions to be really, really helpful. So instead of setting goals, because just that word takes me back to my old radio days and our goals, and we never hit our goals, and it never was enough, and I just hate the word. I shouldn't say I hate it, but I don't like it. So I like intentions and I like affirmations. So affirmations are short. To me, they're short sentences or powerful words that bring you back to a certain point of vibration and helps to train your mind to go in a more positive place. Okay. And so with affirmations, what I use them for, because I was pretty fear-based and I was really negative. I was very much a pessimist. And I didn't know any other way. It's just how I lived. And I really struggled with how to move into a positive way of thinking. I just thought it was all bullshit, quite honestly. And when I was introduced to affirmations and I started to try using them and I was consistent with them, I was like, oh, these actually feel better. And they're creating a whole new story for me. So it gets rid of some of the things I kept affirming that weren't super healthy or were quite toxic. And it helped me build a new road that was actually helping me drive my life to where I wanted it to go instead of staying stuck where I was. Does that make sense? And what I think of affirmations, whenever I do intention classes or affirmation classes, and let me know if you guys are interested in that. That's one of the things I'm looking at for January, if I have enough interest, is if a full class, like a couple weeks, would be something of interest. I actually want to know that, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching later the replay. Let me know if that's something that interests you. And when I would talk about intentions or affirmations with people, I would ask them what their affirmation was, and then I could feel the bullshit underneath it. And I was like, let's shift that up a little bit. Let's shift that just a little bit so it doesn't feel off to you, but it feels closer to what you want. That's why when people say things like let me think of an affirmation. Like one of them I have up is, I am limitless in my life in all ways. And my belief in that is so much bigger now than it ever has been. But when I first heard like I am limitless, I was like, well, that's shit. That's not true. Because I definitely feel my limits and I know I have limits, and I had this whole story around it. And so I always would insert I am learning that I am limitless. Or someone said they use the one that I love my life. I don't always love my life. That's just the truth. I don't always love what's happening in my life, but I'm learning to love my life. And that one really helped open up a lot of things for me. Or I am enough, therefore I have enough. That's one I've used a million times over. And I'm learning that I'm enough. I'm learning that I have enough. So introducing those words I'm learning into your affirmations can be quite helpful. And when I use affirmations to help me stay focused on something, I really try to do it in a way that, like, I want it to stretch me a little bit. I definitely want to stretch, but I don't want it to be bullshit. Does that make sense? Like some people will maybe they're really ill, maybe they have cancer, and saying the words "I am healthy" over and over after chemo and puking your guts out and all the stuff that comes with chemo, that's probably going to feel a little bit bullshit to you. So I would find something different, like I am learning how to create a healthy body. And I would do some different phrases until it kind of falls in my heart. I love working on intentions and affirmations with people. I love it because they'll say something and I'll do a tiny little shift on it and then it sits. And it's really fun when people get to it because they actually can feel that, oh yeah, that's it. And then as they catch up with that affirmation, then they can set a new one that's even stronger. And so I do think it's a step system. And I do think that people are like, I had a friend and she would always affirm that she's a millionaire. And I'm like, dude, you're not even making, $30,000 a year. It's too big of a stretch. It's too big. And so how about we step it back and say, I'm learning to love money, or I'm learning to trust my abilities. I'm learning how to build a business, and shift it just a little bit so that it actually still makes sense and stretches you. Does that make sense, you guys? Yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks. I mean, all his videos on YouTube and stuff, like this is some of the stuff that he talks about, a lot of the stuff. I'm simplifying it, quite honestly, but like I said, I'm pretty simple. So I like to simplify it. But yeah, he gets into the science of it. He gets very deep into it. So Joe Dispenza is great to listen to. Okay. Andy says, yep, I love the learning. That's a good idea. I have a mirror and I use dry erase markers to write my affirmations. Let's see. Yeah, Kathy, we still see your name, hun. It might not show up on your side, but I see it just fine. Okay, good. All right. So you guys are following me. So one of the things with affirmations is you need to say it a ton. It's not just a once during the day and you're done. It is a constant thought. So many of you, when we were talking about the meditation, talked about your busy brains. And most clients that I attract have busy brains because I have a busy brain. And affirmations and meditation can go hand in hand because meditation is an exercise to calm your brain. Affirmations are an exercise to help focus where your thoughts are going all day long. And I used to have alarms set on my phone every 15 minutes. And I would see how long it would take me to say my affirmation until I just kind of drifted away from it. And it was not long, like a minute, 2 minutes, if I was lucky. And I just thought that was amazing. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe how fast my mind goes on to something different if I'm not focusing on it. Now I can focus for quite a while on it, but that's why I use the time or the alarms on my phone every 15 minutes. If I'm really working on something, I set alarms. Okay, hold on, I gotta shut my door. All right, it's hot and cold in my she shed, so I gotta open up the doors and I gotta shut the doors. And when I was doing that, and I still do that at times, it helped me. It helped me get to learn how my mind works. So if my mind is like spinning in not a great direction, I pull in my affirmations. Like I have to stop. I got to take a breath. I got to be like, okay, Jodie, stop. Stop is a good affirmation. Stop. Just stop. Because if you're spinning into this whole story, you're spinning into all the lies you tell yourself, you're spinning into like, when you have a conversation with somebody and they're not even there, but you're fighting with them. Like I did that a lot. I can fight with people for days. And when you do that kind of stuff, it's so unhealthy for you. It becomes a toxic place in your head, right? And so stop is sometimes a great affirmation to start with. Like, oh, stop, I'm spinning. This is not helpful. Okay. I am okay is a great affirmation. I am safe. Great affirmation. I am enough. Great affirmation. I have them be very short and sweet, if at all possible. I've seen some people where they write this whole paragraph of their affirmations, and I'm like, who can remember that? Like, I don't remember that. It's too long. It's too much. It's too much for my brain. So I like them short and sweet. And when I do short and sweet, I can pull them from anywhere. And then what's super fun, someone I just saw just a little bit that someone wrote, that all of a sudden your brain starts to say them by themselves. I remember the first time that happened for me, and I was like, oh my God, this works. Oh my God, I totally have been saying this one affirmation for years. And all of a sudden my brain said it by itself. And I was like, holy shit, people's brains actually say nice things to them sometimes. Like, oh my God, it was such an awareness and like, whew. And so I love affirmations. And one of the reasons that I have so many affirmation decks is because I need them for myself. And so one of the fun things that when people are first starting to learn about affirmations, whether it's mine or somebody else's, I say grab a deck, get an affirmation deck. They're different than oracle decks, but I have several that I've created. So I have my fearless deck, which I love. If you're in a place where you're kind of a fear-based thinker, this is a beautiful, beautiful deck. It's beautiful, first of all. And then it talks about the fearlessly stuff. It's, I'm fearlessly healthy. I'm fearlessly brave today. It's a very good deck. And then the ABCs of affirmations. This one's a really small deck. So a lot of people like this because it's small and it fits in their purse. And if you're a little stubborn, like me, that and you have a little edge to you, that is where the naughty spirit comes in. So I created this deck. It's got swear words and stuff like that. I'll try to be nice since it's a Saturday and your kids are probably around. But when I was creating my first deck of cards, the Wonderment deck, I would laugh at the designer and I was like, we need like a naughty deck, because all this stuff is really nice if you're in a good mood. But if you're in a jerk mood and you're kind of pissed off and you're really struggling, like that's not going to do anything except piss me off. And so it took me a few years to kind of align with it. But one day me and Angela were talking and I was like, I think it's time for the naughty cards. I just think it's time. And I told her what they were about and she just laughed. And we had them picked out, found naughty spirit, had them at the printer. It was all done within 2 weeks. And they are my favorite deck because I can read them in my worst of moods and they still make me laugh. And so if you struggle and you get down quite a bit or you get pissed off or angry and stuff like that, naughty deck is really fun. So we're going to pull a couple of cards in just a little bit, but tell me what your favorite affirmation is. Those of you that actually use the affirmations, what are your favorites? I am enough is one of my favorites. I am safe. I used that for a really long time. I used I am brave. I can do hard things. That one was really great when my dad got sick and I had to do a bunch of hard things. That one was also very helpful when I was learning about taxes and all that kind of stuff. I can do hard things. When I was first traveling by myself and I would get freaked out about stuff or flights would be delayed or I'd have to do this or do that, I can do hard things. That was a really, really helpful one. I am free. Yep, that's a beautiful one. What else? What else do you guys have? Put it in the comments. Let me know what your favorite affirmations are. Yes, love it. So I also listened to Abraham Hicks, and Carolyn said things are always working out for me. I love that affirmation. And that affirmation can honestly work in yuck times and great times, because everything usually works itself out, which is another one that I'll say, like, oh, you know what? It'll work itself out. I say that all the time, because there's nothing in my life that hasn't been worked out, ever. I might not like how it gets worked out, but it always gets worked out. That's the truth. The truth is it always gets worked out. Okay. Yes, I can fucking do it. Yes. I am strong. I am love and light of child of God. Yep. Tina goes, and I'm not religious. Doesn't matter. I am an abundance magnet. I am enough. I am fearless. I am strong, healthy, and at my ideal weight. I am strong. I am protected. I am fearlessly healthy. No one can take away my self-worth. I am worthy and enough. I stand in my power and control. Yeah, anything you say after I am, be very mindful what you put after those words. I am so fat. It's not a good affirmation. I am healthy. I am learning to love my body. I am beautiful. I am wise. Like, I am is very powerful. So you want to be really aware of what you say a lot. Because on one hand, your affirmations can be on that negative side. And if you catch yourself saying one of them, if you catch yourself saying one of the negative affirmations, you just need to learn how to flip it so it's something that's better for you. So I am so fat can be flipped to I am learning to have a healthy body, or I am learning to love myself just the way I am. But you got to catch yourself and then flip it. Okay. I am who I am, and that is enough. I move forward with grace and ease. I am loved and supported and never alone. Very good. Oh, I love that, Keely. I'm walking my path and guided by my light team daily. Oh, see, I would shift that one, Alicia. She says, careful what you wish for. I wish for all sorts of things. But you do. You want to be mindful what you put out there, for sure. But I also think, another one that I use a lot, and I've shifted it with permission from my mentor. She gave me permission that I needed, because I was going through something, and she's like, trusting this process is really important. And I'm like, yeah, I trust the process. I just don't fucking like it. And she goes, but use that. Because sometimes you're going through the process, but it doesn't mean you have to like it. You trust it, but you don't have to like it. And that really freed me a lot, because there's a lot of people kind of in the spiritual world that you're supposed to be all unicorns and rainbows all the time. And that's just that. First of all, that's not me. Second of all, that is not real life, because shit happens. Like, really hard stuff in life happens. And so you can trust the process. Doesn't mean you have to like the process. And that was really helpful. I was like, oh, I have permission to feel my feelings then, because again, I feel so much. And so it was really helpful to know that I can adjust my affirmations and be honest too, because I do trust the process. I do trust it. I just don't always like it. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this wind here is crazy. It's like blowing shit over all over the place. Just blew my tree down. Crazy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull a couple cards. I want you to pick number 1, 2, or 3. So when you do it, take a breath, hand on your heart, and just ask your spirit 1, 2, or 3. And then put it in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, you can absolutely put in the comments, but then I'm going to go through the cards in just a second. Okay. So go ahead and put your choice in the comments. 1, 2, or 3. And I'm going to pull one from every deck that I talked to you about. Yep. Selma said that makes sense to acknowledge the feelings. I tend to skip over the feelings, but you got to be honest with your feelings, because if you're making an affirmation and it feels like bullshit to you, there's no power there to it. It kind of negates itself. And so you want to have an affirmation that you can stand behind and have your feelings too. We're human. Shit happens. We get mad, we get angry, we get frustrated, we get tired, we get sick. Things happen, right? And so your job is to feel your feelings, and the affirmations help you strengthen those parts of you where maybe you're sabotaging yourself. So if you're a self-sabotager, affirmations can be incredibly helpful. You can pick all 3, Linda. Go for it. I don't care. I don't have a whole lot of rules. All right. And when that one absolutely flipped over, so we'll grab that one. It's a good one. And affirmations, what I will suggest for clients when they're first starting on affirmations and they use decks, you can just pick 1 card a day, and that can be your affirmation that day. Or you can walk through your day, then pick the affirmation card in the evening and see how it matches, which I think is always kind of fun. Or you can sit, let's say you're on your lunch hour, you can sit with the deck and you can just affirm all the affirmations and just go through the deck. I used to do that when I couldn't meditate. I would go get some affirmation cards, and I would just read through them. And I keep a deck in my car, and I love affirmation decks. Yep. And you can do both, Selma. So she said when going through a struggling time where she has to trust the process, she tends to flip the feelings to keep positive, but will now acknowledge the feelings even if they suck. And then you can flip it. So let's say, you just went through a really tough thing with a loved one passing away. And that process can be beautiful for some people. And for some people, it can be brutal. And so we trust the process of death because it happens to all of us. Doesn't mean we like it. And we might have to have a little tantrum here and there. And then we can get back into trusting the process. But like one of the things that when Eli's mom was passing, I had an affirmation and a reminder to look for the miracles. And I trusted the process. I didn't like the process. I didn't like watching. I didn't like seeing her like that. I didn't like the pain. I didn't like any of that piece. And I saw so many miracles. And I trusted the process. And I was open to miracles. And I didn't like it. Like you can feel all of it all at once. And a lot of people try to be fake positive. Well, that doesn't help you. Doesn't help you. And sometimes if you're really in a shitty mood, affirmations aren't going to do anything. Then you better go journal and burn and move and express and talk it out and get a session or go to a counselor or whatever. Because sometimes the affirmation decks are going to piss you off. That is not a time to use an affirmation deck. They're not going to be helpful for you. Yep, I actually think I have a day that I am doing oracle cards and stuff, Selma. Yeah, there's a tons of types of cards out there. There's oracle cards, there's affirmation cards, there's tarot cards, there's animal cards, there is. So yep, I believe I already have a day built in for that, Miss Selma. Okay. So I'm going to do that for number 1. I'm going to do that for number 2. And I'm going to do, hold on, I almost dropped this one. That for number 3. Okay. So when I'm picking a card, I just choose where my hand goes. Okay. And when I go through these affirmations, I also want you letting me to know about if it fits for where you are today. Okay. So the first one is from my Naughty Spirit deck, which I love. It's got swear words though. It's such a great message for everything we've been talking about. So the affirmation today, the reminder with an edge, because we're using Naughty Spirit, says, don't be an asshole. Be kind to yourself. Love Naughty Spirit. Because we can be assholes to ourselves. Don't do that. Don't do that, friends. Stop doing that. Stop being mean to yourself. I'll meet people and they are the kindest people. And then I'll do a session or something with them and I know how kind they are. And I'll be like, yeah, but you're kind of an asshole to yourself. Like you got to stop doing that. If you can't say it to a little 12-year-old girl, you should not be saying it to yourself in your head. Okay. So number one's, don't be an asshole. Be kind to yourself. Okay. That's Naughty Spirit deck. Number two, I love this because we just talked about them a couple days ago, is from the ABCs of affirmations. So number two is today, I'm open to receiving assistance from my angels. Whether you know what they are or who they are does not matter. Just be open to receiving some support. Okay, today I am open to receiving assistance from angels. That's number two. Okay, number three. I like number three. Let me know in the comments if these are hitting for you. Number three is, this is from the Fearless Spirit deck. I really like this deck. Angela did a beautiful job on this deck. But number three is, I choose fun and fearlessness today. A lot of times as adults, we need to remind ourselves to have some fun. We get serious, we get in control, we are responsible for everybody, we are following all the rules. Yeah, you're supposed to have some fun. Okay, so this is from the Fearless Spirit. Number threes, I choose fun and fearlessness today. So do something that's fun, but also do something that helps you maybe move through a little bit of your fear. Being fearless doesn't mean you don't have fears. I have a fuck ton of fears. I have a lot of fears. Being fearless means my wanting to do whatever it is that I want to do is going to outweigh my fears. So what I want is stronger than all my little fears that run around in my head. Okay. Awesome, Jana. She's going to get going on a gratitude journal. Alicia said, yes, it's true. About affirmations, if they're just not hitting the mark, you got to journal and burn. You got to get the shit out of the way. Then the affirmations can come. Oh, okay. See, someone this is a great example. So I don't know who you are. It says Facebook user, but it says, oh my God, I just poured feed into the horse feeder and didn't look first. And someone had shit in it, caught myself saying, oh, you fucking idiot. Then you pulled the first card, which said, stop being an asshole to yourself. And she's like, got it. Stop doing that, you guys. It's just a mistake. Peggy said, spot on. My morning meditation was about connecting with my angels. Alicia said, yes, I need to have some fun and move some energy. Yes. Yes, you can have fun and be goofy. Yep, they all hit home, especially number three. I know. There's a lot of you that need to learn to have some fun. Nice. Yep, 3 is a good one today. I forgot to have fun and we'll turn things around today. Yes. You guys got to have fun. And I think what I like about, even if you're not really into the holidays, like maybe, Christmas and stuff is a little rough for you. Sometimes the holidays gives you 10 times more opportunities to create a little bit of fun. Like it could be literally walking around the mall and looking at all the pretty decorations. A lot of times they'll have some music going on that's really nice, even live music. Going for a drive around town is sometimes fun because you get to see all the Christmas lights. It was 60 degrees on Thursday night. And so I just, throughout the day, I was like, hey, can you pop in? Can you pop in? And had a couple girls over and we had a bonfire and we had apple cider and fireball, which, nothing better. Or well, like Eli and I will go and we'll Christmas shop. We're not really buying anything. It's just nice to be out with a bunch of people and be in the world a little bit. We also will do silly things in the snow. Eli's, again, he's all about that Hallmark Christmas stuff. And so he looks for different ideas to help bring some fun into our day. He's always screwing around. And so he really taught me how to be more fun. I'm a fun person. I'm a pretty fun girl. But when I had kids, I forgot that I was fun. And I forgot I can go do things. And I forgot that I don't have to do everything by myself. And I forgot that life is meant to be fun, like all sorts of stuff. And so he's always into fun, which used to piss me off. And then I was like, God, his life is way more fun than mine. Maybe I should try what he's doing. And I can still be a little uptight sometimes, but I also allow myself to have so much more fun and joy. And I have so many fun people in my world. And one of my affirmations I've used for years is I really only work with fun people. So if you're watching this or you've ever been a client or you've ever come to anything, it's because you're fun. You might forget that you're fun, but you're fun because my affirmation is I only work with fun people. Even if you're in one of the hardest parts of your life, doesn't mean that you're not fun. Okay. So I only work with fun people. Oh, Jacqueline said I was going to cancel my plans for tonight. Then I saw card number 3. Yep. I used to cancel a lot of fun plans too. Yeah. Eli's all about the Hallmark shows. And then we have another friend that she's all about the Hallmark shows. And her wife was telling me, she was so funny. She goes, yeah. And don't worry about the breakup thing because it only lasts for like 7 minutes and 32 seconds or something. Like she's got it timed for how long the little Hallmark breakups are. And that cracked me up. So they're texting back and forth on which Hallmark movie they like the best this year. Yeah, Linda, that's a great point. So she said, one of the first things I learned from you was to play and have fun with spirit. Yes, spirit loves to have fun because it raises your vibration. And she said, I thought it had to be really, really serious. Me too. And it really, really needs to be fun because it raises your vibration. Yeah. You're all fun. You're all fun or you wouldn't be on here with me. All right, my friends, that's what I have today for affirmations. If you are interested in an affirmation course, I would love some feedback on that because it's something we're considering for January, not at the very beginning of January, because I know people are just overwhelmed. But kind of mid-month is something I was thinking. And I have a couple other ideas too, but that was one of them. I love, love, love starting people out with some intentions and some affirmations at the beginning of the year because they can be a lot of times your anchor for the year. And so that's why I was kind of sitting with that. And I wanted just to see who's all interested because I thought we could do a week on intentions, a week on affirmations, and then the last week we bring it all together because then you go through the whole process. And it wouldn't be every day of the week. It'll be like one night a week. And then at the end, you've gone through the process of how to create them for yourself. And you get some feedback from everyone else and myself. So I thought that would be kind of a fun way to kick off the year. Yeah, Tina, that's perfect. All right, friends, have a happy Saturday. I actually have some company come in here at 1, so I got to run. I will be back tomorrow. Let me see if I have what we're doing tomorrow. Hold on. Oh, that's funny. All right, tomorrow we're talking about silence. That is a good subject. All right, we're going to talk about being quiet tomorrow. So show up tomorrow at noon. I'll let you know why silence is even a subject. I think it's a fun subject and I love to talk about it, of course, because I'm a talker. So learning about silence was a big deal for me. All right, friends, have a great day. Stay warm and be really careful if you're in the FM area. I've heard the roads are incredibly slippery. So be really mindful. Slow down. See, I'm very fast driver in the summer and I'm a grandma driver in the wintertime. All right, guys, have a good day. See ya.